welcome back to the Board Game Batcave. This week we're going to be, by the way, my name's Chris.
David.
And the OGG back again.
And we are reviewing Flashpoint this week, which is not a new game, but it's we have to get it on the review because it's definitely one that needs to be talked about. And so traditionally we're going to start with components, and we'll let Dave start. The Batman.
The components in this, there was lots of little things, and I didn't see a lot of great detail. The little meeples of the firemen, they were really good. I liked them, but the rest of the stuff was your basic generic pieces. As far as the doors, you get little black dice to show that you blew a hole through a wall, stuff like that. The components, I would give it 7.
Well, look at me, that's your score.
I'd have to give it a 7 compared to other stuff that we played. It's not low class, but I've seen a lot better.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's a dual-edged sword for me because the components are they're not high dollar components, but what they did with them is pretty amazing. That they could take that many components you have to play the game. I mean, they could have probably come out with some little fire for the fire spots and the something else besides chits for everything on the board except for the explosion, which I don't understand why they did damage with the black cubes. But anyway,
It looked like a complicated checkers game.
yeah, there's a lot going on in a fully involved house, and so you got lots of stuff, and so you can't have big components. So I guess they went with the cheaper chits on everything. So they're nice cardboard, but they're still cardboard, and so I'm gonna go 6. That's definitely not why I play the game.
Yeah, I agree with these guys here. I'm going to go 6 also, just because it's everything that you need. They don't skimp on it. There's plenty of chits. It's a load of chits, as a matter of fact. They're everywhere, you know. And your firefighter guys are pretty. They're pretty good. If the rest of the components were like that, then it would get a higher rating, you know. But I do think that there's probably a reason for it because each of the grids or each of the squares. You could have a firefighter in there. You could have a victim, you know, someone you're trying to rescue in there. You've got either, you know, a fire marker or smoke. You might have a hot spot. All these things could be in that one square. So if you had real detailed components for all those different things, you couldn't put, you know, you can just stack all the chits on top of each other. They're varying sizes, so you can kind of see what's
So that's just a funny word.
Absolutely.
That's just a funny word.
So I kind of see why they did it, but at the same time, it does leave you feeling like maybe it's a little, I don't want to say cheap, because they're well made, they're well done, they're easy to read. You know, like I said, it gives you everything you need, but I guess just compared to a lot of the other games that we play, you look at those components and you sort of think they cheaped out a little bit, but
I think
it doesn't. You know, we'll get to the rest of it later. It doesn't really affect the gameplay, but we're talking about components, so I'm going to give it a 6.
And it doesn't help the game that we played that and Cthulhu Wars at the same time.
Right. The components.
That's
game.
day.
You can't even
not day.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our component score, and we're going to go next to theme.
Now, I have to say the theme, my career is in law enforcement, so seeing the fire aspect of it intrigued me. I was like, okay, it pulled me in on that right there to see what it was going to be about. I like the idea of it. I like the idea that you can cut through walls, but you only had so much because if you've done too much, the whole place is going to come down on you. which it did.
Usually does.
Yeah, we didn't make it this
I think
last
I
time.
said before we started, we can only if we go more than one wall, we're looking at losing, and
We went through 2 walls.
Yeah.
And we lost. But the whole object of it was pretty cool about getting in, getting out, getting into an ambulance, getting the fire truck in, spray the brooms down. I liked the whole theme of it, how it went about. It was classic.
What was your score?
Oh, pardon me. I'll go 8.5 on that.
Maybe, yeah. I actually think the theme is one of the best parts of it because the firemen, you don't see that in a lot of games. I mean, I don't know if you see it. I'm racking my brain. I know there's police precincts, so you see policemen in a game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cop-based games, but I don't see a lot of fire emergency personnel rescuing. I don't know. Maybe there's some out there that I'm not thinking of right now.
I just need crusted zombies.
Breaking into there and the fire and the zombies are coming out. I really, really like this game specifically because it's firefighters. Because if it was anything else, if you were like trying to get a gold out of a temple before it collapsed or, like any other game, I don't think I would play this that much. Mm-hmm. But the theme, firefighters, and the fact that some of these expansions, you get to be specialists. You get to have that rescue personnel. You can have a paramedic. You can have the hazmat technician.
Right.
That to me is just like, I feel like the guy that I'm playing rather than just I'm going in here to get stuff and pulling it out before it all falls apart.
Well, I like the idea of the captain where you can give your moves to your guys to help get somebody out. That
Right.
was pretty cool. I like that idea of being able to move people through there like that.
And the theme, I'm going to go 9.5 because while it's not perfect, it's definitely one that is not anything competing against it.
Right.
And so when I'm in the mood to play that kind of thing, that's what I'm going to play it.
That's understandable.
Yeah, I think the theme is strong for this game also, and it wasn't. I wasn't really drawn to the theme originally, but I couldn't see how they were going to make a firefighting game. It just didn't. I didn't see how they were going to come around with it, but they did it, and I liked it. I think it does. I think it works out really well. So I'm going to give it a 9 also because I think the firefighting theme kind of pulls you into the game, and before you know it, you start to feel the heat. You start thinking about trying to get in there and getting those rescuing the survivors and that kind of stuff. So I think they did a nice job of pulling me in on a theme that I really wasn't that interested in.
And I think every little boy at some time in their life wants to be a fireman.
Yeah.
Maybe not you. You probably want to be a policeman instead of a fireman. But
I wanted to be Dr. Bruce Banner.
But I mean, back when I was a kid, you had the shows like Paramedic. I mean, what was it? Emergency and 411 or not 411, 911, something like that. Anyway,
Reno 911.
yeah, calling up information. But I think every little boy anyway has that. It piques their interest when they hear the fireman thing, even if they never really wanted to be one. That's neat to them. So I think that helps a lot. So that leads us right into gameplay.
Gameplay I liked. I liked that a lot. You're constantly trying to keep. You got people in there that you're constantly having to save. If you get one out, you got to roll, get another one in. But also, there's always this chance that everything is just going to go absolutely bizarre when you start rolling and hot spot blows up, and you're blowing holes through walls, and you're sitting there going, "Oh, mother of God, what's about to happen now?" We got to get the fire truck over that way. We got to get this person out, and you're sitting there and you're trying to be a little strategic about it. The gameplay was pretty smooth. It's not complicated. This was my first time playing the game, and it went through pretty easy for me, I thought.
And we played the advanced game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the gameplay of it is really easy. I think the novice player will be able to pick it up and have fun without being confused about it. I'll give it a, as far as gameplay, I'll give it a 9.5, almost a 10. I really, really liked it. It's not dead of winter, but what is? What is really, okay?
It's a zombie game though. So on gameplay, I think it's remarkable how there's so many moving parts to this game. It's a cooperative game.
I like
There's
that
so many
aspect,
things that can happen in a round, and yet it's not. They don't stumble on each other. They don't butt into each other, and the cards, like each personnel is a specialist in their area, and their special abilities reflect that. So if you're the generalist, you have 5 action points instead of 4, so you can do a little bit of everything. You're jack of all trades, and the captain, he can command people to move, and it feels very real for just pieces of cardboard on the table. And I'm thinking if somebody, a lot of these people, take their games and they pimp their game out and they make the little,
right.
That would be an awesome game to do that too. And the gameplay itself is is really what pulls me back. I know it's not the components pulling me back every time.
Yeah, for sure.
The theme has a lot to do with why I play it every time, but mainly it's because of the gameplay. I feel like I'm in a fire every time I play this game. I feel like I gotta the cat's gonna die. And
You just got to have some jerk or butthole parked next to a fire hydrant that's out there on the street.
Make it more realistic.
Yeah, more realistic, where you just busting glass out and run the hose through it, screw them.
We could add that as a house rule for that. But that's going to cause me to go. I'm going to go 9 on the gameplay because I love it. I love it.
That's a lot of fun. It's a really engrossing game. It's a lot like the mountain climbing game K2
Yes.
that we
I was just thinking that.
we reviewed a while back. It's a theme, or it's an idea that originally you don't. I didn't see how they were going to get me into a firefighting game, but they did it, and they did it right away. I played it a number of times, and it's a lot of fun. You really do feel the pressure. You kind of start out, you're clearing out, you're putting out some fires, you think you're doing fine, and then in the next round, half the building's up in flames, and all you did was rescue a empty bag of laundry or something that turned out to not be a person, and
Point of interest.
hold on. Before you know it, you're in trouble, and you're sweating, and so it's. I think the gameplay on this is exceptional. It's really good, so it's a 9 for me also.
That reminds me that, speaking of how in the first few rounds you think, oh, this is easy.
Yeah, we got this.
Last time we played, it was like, well, it's not hard. We're going to win here in a minute. No, we have to rescue 7 people, not 4 people. Oh,
we got this.
Yeah, and then it all went south, and by south I mean straight to a hot place because it was hot.
It was bad.
All right, that's all
Chaos
of gameplay, and that leaves replayability.
Replayability, I would definitely play this game again. This is the type of game that I could take home and play with the family. Unlike Sons of Anarchy, where maybe a frat party and above, you want to play with that. This is really easy to be able to play with your family, play with a group of friends. It's a lot of fun. It's actually rather fast-paced. It's not one that really drags out.
Right.
So you don't really get bored with it, like playing Monopoly or something, because it just goes on and on and on and on. Replayability.
Monopoly's a dirty word.
Replayability, I would give it a 10. That I will go all the way up, because I would definitely play it again. That's something I could see playing tomorrow or playing again Guy Night Christmas.
Originally I thought I can't go to a 10 on this because like Dice Masters is a 10, but then I thought, Dice Masters is only a 10 with a certain group of people.
Yeah.
This I played over the weekend with my in-laws and my sister-in-law and even my daughter who's 7. I think it says 10 and up on the game board, but She's only 7 and she played it. And we played 5 times in a row.
Wow.
And no one got sick of it.
Right.
And I mean, like, they wouldn't have played Dice Masters 5 times in a row. So I think I'm going with 10 on it because even though it's maybe not as obsessive and you can pound out the games as fast as Dice Masters or some other card game like that, I think it has a wider audience, and so you'll play it more.
Yeah.
You know, with more of more audiences than just a card game like that.
The user friendliness of it is a big thing.
Right. Yeah, and in fact, I'm gonna up my score. I was gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 for that very reason, because not every game that we play could you pull out in any situation, you know. But this, you can pull it out with hardcore gamers. You can pull it out with new gamers, young and old. You know, and it's pretty quick. So a lot of folks that don't like games, they don't like a game because I don't want to sit around for 2 hours. You know, you're going to play this game in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. It's pretty quick. So replayability for me is very high again. Also, I'm going to even bump it up all the way to 9.5.
That's great.
All the way?
All the way.
Man, the madness just continues.
I'm telling you, it's a strong
It's
game.
crazy.
It really is. I've played it a bunch of times that I haven't even played all the different specialists that you can be. Not that that's a huge difference to the game, but you know, I haven't even played every one of those, so I'd like to go through that at least. And you know,
there's
we
so many
usually do
expansions,
expansions
yeah.
separately, you know, but yeah, there's tons of expansions for it already. Relatively inexpensive game, so yeah, for a lot of reasons, I think it's got good replayability.
I would go as far as say, if you're a board game collector, this is a must-have on your.
Yeah.
You need to have this in your collection.
Mm-hmm.
It fits a niche that a lot of games don't, and
I agree.
K2 would fit the same niche, I think.
Yeah, it's funny that we were both thinking. It's
Yeah.
really similar. If you've played K2 and you like it, you're going to like this, and vice versa.
And I think it'd pull a lot of non-gamers to your table because my in-laws, like I said, played this game and they played it 5 times, and they've never played
That's
any
big.
game I brought to a table 5 times, and they wanted to play it again, but we were out of time. So you just can't beat that. All right, so there you have it.
go.
Our score for the day is right there over the board. I mean the box, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See you.
See you at Gen Con.